If you're selling anything Go High Level, then it's absolutely crucial that you have an automated onboarding process. Not only does this look really professional from a client side of things, but it helps you out by saving you time and effort, especially when there's other people in your pipeline waiting to be onboarded and systems that need to be built. My name is Altus and I run my own AI agency and a couple of school groups, and we know that having an automated onboarding process is absolutely crucial in your whole system. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to build one out step by step and Go High Level. It will be an automated form that gets sent out. There will be an AI assistant to it. And in the background, there will be emails to be sent. There'll be a pipeline that gets filled out, and even a contract that gets sent out, and an automated invoice system where they pay at the time, so you make sure at least you get paid for your setup fees. It all looks super professional and it's super easy to set up, and we're going to go through it step by step. And if you even watch to the end, you'll be able to get the snapshot as well when you're part of the group. All right, let's get this going. Now, obviously, you're going to need a Go High Level account for this because we're going to do this very specifically for high level and voice AI. So I'll show you what I do. And it's kind of a copy from what I do in the automated process in Lovable, but we're going to do and recreate this in high level as well. So obviously, if you're in the community, go grab yourself your sub account to get unlimited ones. I'll also make sure I have this as a snapshot to download. If you're part of it, it will be under the mix in here. You can just download the snapshot and you'll get the contract and the forms and so on. Or else just follow along as we go along and just create it for yourself. So obviously, one of the first things you need to do is get yourself a high level account set up and ready. And it just need to make sure that it's a usable account where you at least have a user or a staff member in, whether it's going to be yourself at the very least. Okay, so if you're going to sell these voice AI systems in here, you can sell them via sub accounts and then just recreate the sub accounts, and I'll just show you how we do that. So a very important other thing to do is have a mail service set up. Now, I've got lots of videos on setting up dedicated sending domains. Please do set one up for this sub account. So it's not the main agency account. You need to go create a new dedicated email sending account so your high level account can send emails. And then the other thing you need to do, and we'll actually go do this really quick, is add a Stripe account, because it's going to be part of the forms. It's going to be part of the automations for when they make that payment. We're going to help you make that payment at the very least. So to do that, you're going to come back to settings. We're going to go back to integrations, and we have Stripe in here. So make sure you sign into Stripe in a new tab, and it should just be able to click in here. And we're going to click Stripe connected. And obviously there's all the other ones in there that should work up really well for you. And this should connect directly to my Stripe. And that should be it, hopefully. There we go. So Stripe is connected. Now, we're gonna build this out in multiple parts and phases, but the idea that's gonna happen is that once you finish your onboarding call, onboarding process, you are gonna either manually send out, or we can build out different automations for it, but we wanna bring a client to a funnel type page once they click the submit a button for the funnel. It's going to email them the contract to sign, and it's going to be able to also fill in a bunch of details within this form that's going to be helpful for you to onboard them and set up a voice AI system. So and what I did in the Lovable version is actually get the prompt fill out in it, but this is just going to be an automated part in it, but it's really going to really help your onboarding process and just streamline it a little bit, to make it a little bit easier. If you add a little bit of extra automation and for the client to sign up and for yourself, it makes it a lot easier, especially when you do a lot of big loading and stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to build out a form, okay? Because when someone signs up, you need their details. So we're going to come back in here. We're going to come to your sites, and we're going to come to forms, and we're going to come to a form builder. So the onboarding process is going to be a form that they fill out. Once they fill out the form, they'll also have a helpful chat assistant on the side to answer some questions, because people always have questions. Clients can be very hard. They ask the stupidest questions, but when there's an AI assistant to answer those and get them to fill out that form, because you want them to fill out the form with the details, then that will redirect them to a contract to sign. And once they sign the contract, it will redirect them to a payment. So you get the details, you get a contract signed, and you get the payment done all in one. Okay. So forms. First thing, open a form. We're going to create a new form, and we're just going to create the basic blank form. And this will be in the snapshot, and you can edit it. And it's going to be really tailored into how to create your sub account. And you'll see a lot of it's going to come back in here. So what I'll actually do is just come back. I'm just going to duplicate this in here, and we'll go create a new, or a form is still in there, but we need the business details. Okay, so we're going to need a lot of stuff from in here. My business profile. So we're going to need, you're going to need the business name, email, phone number, domain name, their niche, their country, their postal address, and at very least you're going to need an EIN number or business ID number to get a phone number in there. And then we're going to need some stuff in regards to their actual AI assistant that we need to build out. So lots of things to do in a form. So we got the basics in here. We need their first name, we need their last name, phone number, email address. And now all we need to do is just go through the side and pick a couple of things in here that we need extra. And if you want to, by the way, as well, you can do the all-in-one form when they fill out the form, and you create the product in here, within here, if you want to. But I'm going to show you how to do it where they actually sign a contract as well, because it's very important for them to sign a contract, okay, with a bit of terms and services. So we need the address in here. So we're going to add the address in here, so it's going to fill out the address details. And then we need some separate business stuff in here. So we're going to move this up in here. We need the business name. And did we have the website part in here? So phone numbers, collect payments, city, state, country, postal code. It's all part of that website. Sorry, that's the website in here. We'll have that one down there. So kind of all the basics in here. Friendly name, business name. And now we just need to add. Come back down. There should be the rest of it. That's it. So the rest we're going to just add as custom fields. So you're going to come in here, custom field. You're going to say it's going to be part of the context. It's in there, and you're going to say add. It is going to be a single line. I'm going to say that one and hit next. This is going to be their EIN number. Hit the say, oops. It's going to be part of the contact information. Hit the save in there. Now give it a second to load. Contacts EIN number. I'm going to have that in there under the business name. And you can just add a little bit in here. The placeholder business EIN number. Hit the save in there. Now you can also build this out as 2 pages. I just like 1 page, okay? So there's lots of information for them to fill out in 1 page. So with the first name, last name, phone number, email, website, organization, the business EIN number. And I'm just going to make this say legal business name, include LLC. All right, because they need to say is a LLC or not. All right, so you have all that in there, have that in there. Now the next parts are all going to be related to setting up your voice AI system. So and you're just going to build this out all by one at a time. And I'm just going to pause, but it's going to be the same thing. So I'm going to select in here. I'm going to add. It's going to be a single line. And you can have them up and down as much as you want. But I was going to say this in here. And we're going to say AI assistant name. And it's going to be part of the contact information. And I'm just going to wait for that to load for a second. It's going to be that in there. So let me quickly go create a couple of custom fields exactly like that. And I'll pause it and I'll come back once I've done creating them. Okay, I've just added a couple of fields in here. So once most of them was single fields. There's a couple of multiple fields, but I have your AI assistant name. So what are we going to call your AI assistant? Hey, if you remember, creating voice AI agents in Highlevel, there's just a couple of things that are pre-required and filled in and that you might need. So what are we going to call our AI assistant? What's the welcome message they're going to say? And I say this is a multi-line one. So when we go add a new contact, it's going to be a multi-line. So add multi-line. And then I just say about the business, as much details about the business as you can. And then FAQs about the business. I got staff members because sometimes you want to list out staff members if it's the virtual assistant answering, and they might ask for, hey, can I, what's the details for your real estate agent, David? Then you'll be able to say, David, his number is this and his email is that. And then the human transfer option is one is there as well. So there's things to consider about. It's going to make your life a lot easier when you build out this. And what you should also do is if you're going to have a niche that's very specific with calendar bookings, you want to add that field in here as well. If we're going to do calendar bookings, or if it's going to do an external link for booking, then you need to add that in as well. So, for example, if they're going to do live quotes, just depending on your niche, this just kind of sets up a good base for it. So a couple of things you can do to make it look a little bit prettier. Don't need that one in there. You also don't need the terms and conditions in there. I'm just going to call this onboarding form. So this is just an example form. Really suggest you go with it. At the very least, you get the basic details to create their account for them instead of having to call them backwards and forwards. And the more you do this, the more you're going to realize more things you are going to miss on it. So there's specific niches, like for example, our landscaping guys, they only do online quotes on Mondays. So they go out and they do installations on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. On Mondays is quote days. So they have a special booking site for that. So would have the special booking link in there for them. And a lot of landscapers work like that. However, if you're going to have someone, if you're going to have a niche with calendar bookings in there, you're always just going to build out the calendar system in here. So it's going to be part of that in there as well. But this just helps speed up the process. So you're really going to need to think about what you want to put in here as well. So a couple of things you can also do just to make it a little bit prettier is we can add little bits of text in as well. So we can have this in here and we're going to just drag it through in here. And I'm just going to say push it here in the middle. Voice AI assistant details. And I'm going to just have that in there. So then we know we're going to have all that part down the bottom. Just an example form for you to go and use. And again, I can't stress this enough. You're really going to need to know things you commonly use and fill in when you create your voice AI assistants. This is the basics. Just remember that those kind of things. So we're also going to change the button to hit submit. submit, and we're gonna click the theme in here to a blue theme because I'm gonna make a background on that. And that should be kind of it for it. Now, like I said, you can add your products in here if you are not too worried about a contract as such. Um, have that in here. Um, if you want to, it's in here. You can add the products, you can add the signature in here. And you can say agree to the terms and conditions if you want to. However, I want to show you how I set up actual contracts as well, because it's really just a great part of the automation. I was going to make sure we save. So a couple of other important parts is down up here on the left hand side. There's show notifications, and we're going to enable this one and this one as well. So we're going to say what's going to be the subject. It's going to be email notifications. I'm going to say new client onboarding. Now you can build this out, by the way, as an automation. And we're also going to do this. We're going to get 2 emails just for your information. So I'm going to make sure I put me as a staff member down. Highlevel.com, and we don't have, you have to have any of that. And we're going to say what are they going to get? Details submitted. And I was going to save that. So you're going to get 2 emails as such. We're going to make sure you get 2 emails. I just like that. A preference, you didn't have to have this. At least have the auto respond in there. I'm going to say thanks, Altus. So they are going to get a message saying, hey, thank you. You got an email. You've submitted your form. So to show them what's going to happen after you hit the submit button is under submissions in here. Okay, so under submissions, settings, message, you can either redirect them, all we're going to say is thank you, please check your email for the contract form. Okay, so I was going to say in here, it's going to say thank you, please check your email for the online contract to submit. All right, I'm just going to have that little button there, hit the save button. So they're going to fill out the form, and then we're going to get a little call. Please check your emails for the contract. So that's pretty much the first part done. Like I say, really go through your AI assistants. Let's just go double check that I have it right. So just things to make it easy for yourself. So we're going to go create a new assistant. Will be a custom one in here. So you'll fill in this. You might want to check a male or female voice. So let's add that in there. Okay, so we are gonna go single drop out tick box. Actually, can't remember which one this is. Where did it go? There we go. We're just gonna select that in there. My assistant name. Yeah, we're gonna take it out. Assistant name should be pretty self-explanatory. If they're gonna say my assistant's name is gonna be Samantha, you're gonna select the female voice. All right. So, or you can add preferred accent if you want to add preferred accent. Yeah, don't worry about the small stuff. Sweet the small stuff. They're gonna have this in there. You're gonna have to set up a demo system from anyway. They might want to ask to change the voices, listen to different voices. So, first bits in there, we have this because they've given us that. Then when we hit submit next, the knowledge base, you'll be able to select. You're gonna have to create a knowledge base, based on what they give on the FAQs. So when they fill out the FAQs about the business and the staff details, that's how you're going to go select and create your knowledge base. And then, yeah, that's pretty much, you'll have enough to create a pretty good AI assistant in this, I reckon. So, yeah, nothing like anything else really to do. That should be able to set up your account. You should be able to create your voice AI assistant. Now, if you're going to sell stuff like Google business reviews added in there. You might want to ask for your Google business link. In here will be another field for Google business link. So for example, websites in here, we can now add social media parts into it. So let me add that anyway. So we'll go through in here and let's go through, and to make it easy, we will add a multi-line, and we'll call it all social media links. So going to be multi-line. If you're going to be, no, do not do this. Take that away. Use single lines for it because you can refer to that later on as custom values. So make sure we're going to add single line, and we're going to call this your Facebook page URL. So let me do those single lines in there quickly, and I'll get back to you on this one. Okay, so what I've done is I've just come and added social media details, Facebook, Instagram, Google business URL, and I actually had LinkedIn. I did add LinkedIn as well, and LinkedIn URL. So I've also added a bit of a title in here. And what you can do is you can just have the normal form, but we're going to add this into a website. So don't worry about styling this too much. But also what we need to do, we need to come in here and we need to make sure all of these are required. So just under my head in here, there's the required text box. So I'm just going to go through, make sure I have all those. So it has a little star because we need them to fill in all their details. You can't have that in there. And I actually don't know. Manager, just select the address and search bar. And there. And there. So let me quickly do these and I'll pause and come back as well. Okay, I am done with this and we can hit the save button. So like I said, plenty of ways to do this, different options. You can not have all of this, ask for it later on. You can ask for more things if you're going to do different systems. If you're going to do websites, you probably want more details in here. You can have your payment method in here. I just don't like it that way because I want to send them a contract. You can also, instead of forms, you can go to kind of like a survey type one, and you can actually add it in the pages. So it's not really what surveys are built for. But this allows you to have the different page options as well. So instead of having one form, you can have a slide 1 and you'll have the business details, and then slide 2 will have the other one, and 3 and 4. I just don't like it this way. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to have, you can do it in there. So let's just go quickly add a bit of a funnel page. So we're going to add the funnel and we're going to add the chatbot afterwards. So we're going to come to sites and we're going to go to funnels. I'm going to create a new funnel. I don't think there is a good blank one for it. Let's see if there's something like onboarding. Advertise onboarding. I brought in individual onboarding schedule. No. So you just, it's going to be an onboarding page. The lead already likes you. They want to sign up with you. Keep it simple. Don't go build out a weird fancy page. Okay. So you don't need that. Just because people get distracted by the fancy stuff. All right. So we just need them to fill in the form already, sign the contract, and pay us so we can start the onboarding. That's what we want. That's our simple thing. Onboarding. Have that in there. So I'm just going to go create from blank. And for this, I'm gonna select the background. I like a black background for this. And we are just gonna go add the basics and have our first column in here. We're gonna have a nice heading, and we just need to make our text color. It's gonna be like blue. It's gonna say onboarding form or onboarding process. And what I also can do, I actually was playing around with this. Let's add a logo in there. So we can go up. You can add where is image? And I'll have to upload that one for us. So we can at least have a cool little image. You're proud of your business. Add a logo in there. Oh no, that's way too big. No, still 200, 100. That will do. Have a basic logo in there, and then next we're gonna go add a form. We have our form in here. Sweet. And you're gonna select the only form in there that we have. And it will load in there, and nice. Save. Preview. So the next part we're going to do is build out a cool AI assistant in here, because people ask questions and it's very frustrating and very annoying at the time. So let's go add a cool AI assistant in here in the next part of the video. All right, so just before we go too far, just remember to test at every step as much as you can. So when you created the form, make sure you go out and test all of it as well, to see how it works, and if it works. It just prevents later on when things don't work out. At least you'll know that certain steps and certain progresses work. Now, let's go create this AI agent. And what I've done is I've just copied the entire form in here, because people struggle with forms, and I've pasted it up here in just ChatGPT to see if it actually works. And I've just asked it to give a bit more detailed explanation on all of it. And it's just come and add here with all of these in here. So we're just going to build a basic AI assistant just to help answer with the questions. So all we're going to do is we're going to come back in here. We're going to come to, do I have this login? No, I have this in here. And we're going to come to settings, and we are going to go to conversation AI, and we are going to create a new bot. So this is going to be a Q&A bot. We're going to hit the next button, and we're just going to say onboarding assistant, and we're going to go and select all these off, and it's just going to be the live chat and chat window pop up, a live chat, and that should be it. So it's going to be up on autopilot, and it's going to be your business name, so the AI assistant or voice AI team. Now this is just the rest is pretty much as it is, right? So configure basic settings. The timer for responding is going to be 2 seconds, and the maximum amount of things we can answer is going to be in here. Now just going to hit the save button, which will start creating it for us. And we're just going to go through some bot training. Now, you can add your custom knowledge base in here if you want to select and create a new knowledge base. You can do so. So if you want to come through in here, and we can call this knowledge base about our business website. About our business, because they might just ask a random question about it. So I was going to see also, I'm not quite sure if my actual page is crawlable. And we'll have this in here. Sometimes it doesn't crawl it because of the Java code in here. Let's just go quickly see. I thought we had a new about our business in here. I'm going to add a website to it. Not sure how the crawling works on this, so let's quickly see. If it does take too long, we won't use the knowledge base at all. If that even loads. Well, it does not. Alright, there we go. Knowledge base about our business. So we're going to add a source. The website's going to crawl this exact URL. Let's give it a couple of seconds and see if it can crawl this out. Well, I have my dad's. There's a lot of direct JavaScript in there, so sometimes it doesn't quite fetch our data for us. I know. Alright, it's processing. It's in there, it's trained. So you can also look up some basic stuff like Highlevel's basic support portal on what AI voice agents can do. Let's copy this one in and we'll go through and let's add that page in there as well. Extract some data from here. See if we can do that. Sometimes these crawlers don't work that well. Sometimes they do. Give them a go. I'm just going to have this a quick pause and we'll see if it fetches this page. And at the end of the day, I don't want a big information page. I want something to help them fill out the form, really. And that's just the actual one field that we filled in. So I'll give this a second to see if it uploads that. Yeah, and it actually did. So you can come back in here. Let's go back, hit the save button. So, no, all right, no. So about training, come back, go back through in here. So, nice, it crawled some pages for us. So it's in there. And we're just going to go back to bot goals in here. And then for a second, you're going to put the other one in there, but I'm just going to go and just customize this just a little bit. You are a bot for our business. Your task is to assist customers. Your primary goal is to help trust and confidence. User is filling in an onboarding form, and we will help answer any questions about the form. If that in there, you cannot help with appointment bookings. Your goal is to assist the customer with their queries, and your guide in here now. There's a little bit extraction part comes in here, and I'm gonna come through in here, hit the enter button a few times, and we are gonna come back and get this. No, get the whole thing. And I'm gonna hit the copy in here, and I'm gonna paste this in here. And we're just gonna edit this just a little bit. So let's just read through it really quick. So the first, I'm gonna say the form fields are. So the first name is the legal name of the person who's used community, last name, phone number, email address. If they ask about this, explain that a business email address is better than a personal email, but either will do. And the business URL, the business information organization, including LLC, legal business names and the EIN number. If they say they don't have an EIN number, just explain number. explain to them that it's no big deal and to just put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So the address, there is the business address, Facebook URL. If they don't have one, just tell them to put no Facebook, um, no Facebook account, and we'll just add this in here as well. I'm going to say no Instagram account, no Google account, no LinkedIn. So a lot of people go, oh, I don't have this. What do I do? I'm stuck at the form. And you would think it's obvious, but people just get like this. Customers are hard to deal with. And you'll see as more if you do this silly questions, silly mistakes, set you back and cost you time. So the name of the AI phone assistant that introduced himself, this is Ava, the virtual assistant in plumbing. Explain to them this must be a clear, professional, no lag. About the business, should be, yeah. If they ask, explain that AI agents are only as good as the knowledge they are given. Tell them to give as much as they can. AI assistant, welcome message, frequently asked questions, nice staff information, human transfer. If they ask what this is, explain that as a backup, AI should always have an option to transfer them to a real person. Right? So that's kind of the basics in here. So let's hit the save button in there. So it saves that. And then let's go test it and say, I am filling out the form and I don't have an EIN number. What do I do? So hopefully just gives it no worries at all. If you don't have a EIN number, just enter 1 to 3. Nice. What is the welcome message for the AI that I need to fill out? Where does that get used? So just a couple of basic tests. They're kind of the same things people ask. Welcome message is used first when AI calls. It uses degree pairs. Now, remember to hit the like button. The like button. I am struggling with the form. Who can I call for assistance? So now I'm hoping it goes to my custom knowledge base, which is my website. I can help you answer questions about the form right here. If you need the phone support and don't have a direct number. I thought I had a direct number in here. Or maybe I don't. No, I do have a number in here. For example. So that's obviously not good. So we need to mark that one down. Train bot on that. Let's just quickly see what that does as well. I don't want to delve too much into this. You should build out your own AI system in it. So I don't care too much about that one. We should use our training in this. I thought it would have crawled the website for it. Obviously, it didn't say, make sure you go add a number. I can help with any questions and phone if you need any phone support. And have it. Sorry, I should have. Actually, I did all of this wrong. And then when I do those, I should give it the right answer. So I hit this. We hit this from my knowledge base. I have the following contact numbers, and we can copy this. Contact details. Hit that, train the bot on that, and so it trained successfully. Anyway, we have an AI assistant bot, so let's go add that in there now. So we're going to go back in here. We are going to go back to sites. We're going to come back to chatbots, and we're going to add a little assistant in there, and it's going to be a live chat. And form helper, and we don't need to tackle with anything. Hey, welcome there. Just a question down the bottom. Hi there. If you have any questions, then if you have any questions, let me know. Let me know, and I can help. If you have any questions, let me know. Nice. Probably that part. And we don't need that. Widget, how does it look? We're gonna have it down the bottom right. Dimensions, you're gonna replace the little avatar if you want to. Chat window, intro. Have a question. Hi. Do you have a question? Enter the question below. If you are struggling with the form, then let me know and I can help. Alright, have that in there part. I'm struggling, fix that. The form, contact details, don't need that. Don't need that. Life assistant. Don't need that one. And that should be done. Hit that save in there so we can go back. Now, did I enable that? Shorter brain span. Agent list. It's an autopilot for live chat. And we are going to come back to our sites. We're going to come back to our funnel. We're almost done with this part. And the next part is going to be the contract part. And then we are set and ready to go. So, settings. And we're going to go to, where's our live chat widget? There it is. Save that one in there. Come on. Saving. And let's view our page. So our page is loaded, and let me move the screen a little bit to the side. There we go. We have a live chat agent down the bottom. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. And hey, do you have any questions? If you're struggling with the form, then let me know and I can help. Do I have to fill in my full address? Let's give it a second. So nice, it's firing. So wait 2 seconds. Let me know if you need any other help for billing the services. Yeah. So what is human transfer? Human transfer. So come on. Nice. All right. So that's done, right? So you have a little co-pilot assistant in here. It's going to save you a lot of time. Obviously, likewise, the more we give this, the better and easier this will be. The more you have in here, the more you will have and better time you will have later on. Now, let's go add some automations to this because it's also important to keep track of where things are and what's happening with it. So let's go to that in the next part. We're going to go up to automations. Now, a couple of really good things to do is always to tag people, keep them in a pipeline so you can at least keep track of where they are in the process of onboarding, um, and how you move them along if they're a lead. So go create yourself a pipeline. And again, you can make it as complicated as you want to be. And we're just going to call this the onboarding process. Okay. And this is only going to be for onboarding. So, we're going to have the first step is we're going to have on onboarding form sent. So that's if you are talking to them and then they become a client and you send them the form. So it's going to be somewhere a manual trigger that they are in somewhere else. And then the next stage is going to be if they filled out the onboarding form, complete it. And the next step is going to be the contract filled out. And we're going to say paid, paid, what can we call it? Paid setup fee. And then the next part is going to be onboarding complete. It's going to be a bit of a manual task. So when you actually completed the entire step and process, right? So onboarding form complete. So they've done the form, then they do the contract, then you go and do the setup. And once they're done, you can say onboarding completed or client handover, whichever way you want to fill those out and have that. So we have that first stage in there for us. And some days I just feel like Highlevel is really slow, or either I have a caching problem on here. Did I not save that? Okay, weird. For some reason, I had to redo it, and I just call the pipeline onboarding process. So when you send them the form, it's going to be a manual process. When they complete the form, and then the contract completed and the onboarding process done. So to just help you keep track of all that, we're just gonna. Oh, now both of us there. All right, so I can just go and delete this one. Quite often I find that there's a lot of caching that happens with your browser, so make sure you clear out your cache a few times, especially when you go through different accounts. But anyway, let's go add some automation to it. So we're going to create a new automation, and this is going to be onboarding form. So onboarding form completed. So our trigger is going to be, I don't know why we have this in here, but delete that one. Delete that one. We are going to have form submitted, and our form, you can see, form is the onboarding form. So we're going to first add a tag. So add a contact tag. I like to tag everyone as much as we can go. So this is going to be being form, because at the end of the day, you don't want people to fall through the cracks. Okay, you don't want them to do the form and then they haven't done the contract, or they've done the form and the contract has gone to their spam, and you kind of need to follow up sometimes. You need to make sure those things are set up correctly. So we're going to add the tag in there. Then next is opportunity, create an opportunity, and it's going to be an onloading one. It's going to be the form completed. Opportunity name is going to be contact name, so it's going to be their name. The source is going to be from the form, and our value is going to be whatever value you put the contracts out of on. Okay, so my default one's going to be $100 setup fees at least, and we're still going to keep this open in there, and we're going to hit the save button. All right, it doesn't like the dollar value. So someone's going to fill out the form. So hopefully you have put them in the onboarding process, whether it's going to be, let's say they book in a meeting and you're sure they're going to be a client, or you're onto the second meeting that you're calling them up to. So you're going to have to move them manually into that very first stage. And this is going to bring them into the second stage. It's going to add a tag into it. And we're just going to hit the say, we can go notification. So notification, and it's going to be by email. And you're going to get one anyway, but we'll add this in here as well. So I'm going to go contact, first name, then form submitted. Right, so in there, in the message we are going to get is just something basic, notification to tell you that contact, first name have submitted the onboarding form. The contract has been emailed to them. Notification. So we're going to hit the save button in there. Oh, we're going to send that to all our users. So if you just had one staff member, it's just going to go to the one staff member. If you just have one staff member part of the sales, you're going to have that in there. So give that one a second. We're going to come back to it. We're going to have that published in there. Now let's go create the contract, because the next part is going to be as soon as they fill out the form, it's going to send a contract to them. So how do we do all that? So we're going to hit back, and we are going to go create a product. Now, in fact, I will just go create a $1 product. So, going to go to products. So you're going to have your once-off setup fee. You have to have a setup fee at the very least. If you want to go straight into having this for free, you can remove this, and then you can just get them to sign the contract. However, you need to get them to give you some sort of investment, pay for your time, and businesses don't mind doing it. Anyone that's serious about it knows that's how things work. It's how business work. I'd say if you're gonna set up a free trial process, then it's going to be a little bit different, but you can still add the free trial product in here as well. So instead of a once-off setup fee, you're going to create a monthly one with a free trial product, if that makes sense. But I reckon you should do at least the very first, a free product, and then you have their card on file on your Stripe. So once you are completing the onboarding process, you can just add the monthly subscription to their Stripe account, and we'll start billing them anyway. So I'm just going to create a $1 product just so you can see how this work, and I'm going to call this voice AI setup, and description, one-time payment of $1. Yeah, nice. You can add other stuff to this. I'm going to hit the save button. You also need to remember to come do some cool stuff, because it's going to send the automated emails and invoices out as well. So to have all that, we need to make sure to, you should have a complete business profile, and we'll add a little logo in here as well. Where's our logo in there? Just some little things to go and fill out. So, let me quickly just, the voice AI agency. Voice at voiceai.com. Voice AI. This, by the way, not real. Voiceai.com. So you need to have all this filled in. Okay, update information. It does not like that. So because it's going to take this to create our invoice from. So just make sure you're going to have to test this, make sure you get the right stuff through. So anyway, we have a product. Let's go through and create a document. So we're going to go to payments again. So we have our $1 in here, and we're going to go to auto documents templates. So where all your templates live, and we're going to go create a new template, and I'm going to upload this one from a PDF. Now you can go create your own. Really spend some time on this, make it your own. Say things like, let's go find one that I have. Here's one right there. And I'll just go see if I can open this. Where's my share drive? You can create this in ChatGPT, create this in anything you want, but you're gonna have to have some legal jargon with your legal name in there. There's gonna have to be some terms, some conditions, responsible uses. Make sure you're not liable for anything. Make sure you say that they have to pay for, um, they have to pay for what they use. Talk about your cancellation policy. Talk about privacy policy. Go find some good examples on it. I always say delivery is going to be at least a month out. That's me. Payment that always needs to be done, and we will give you support. And as long as you have a bit of a blank form like this, you good to go. So I'm going to upload that one, and we're just going to create our first template. So we'll upload it near. So we'll give that a second to load. So in here we are gonna go. This works all right like this. I'm just gonna create a top page, and we're gonna come through in here, and we're gonna give it a cool name, and just delete that part. And I'm gonna say the Voice AI Agency Terms of Service Contract and Payment, and we can add some cool images in here. Where do we align this actually? Align this in the middle. It doesn't like that. I thought it would align it automatically, but it doesn't. That's right. So come through in here, and we are going to add a cool image in here. Select our image, and we're going to upload, hold it like a contract image. There's one right there. Sweet. Okay, so if this is going to say save this in here for the first part. So the Voice AI Agency Terms of Service Contract and Payment document. Right, so have that part in there. You can add your logo in the top, that's in there. And we're going to go through our contract part, blah, blah, blah. And now we're going to add a second page, which is going to be in here. And we are going to, where's our payment parts for it? Products. And we're going to add a product in here. I'm going to have that. There's a couple of settings in here as well. Enable direct payment and send the invoice. All right, the invoice will be sent via email. Yeah, so have that part in there. It's only going to be $1, and then the last part is going to come through in here. I'm going to add another little bit of text in here, and I'm just going to delete this, and let's me quickly go find. Let's go write something in here. I am creating a contract to sign. The final part of the contract is the signature. Give me a 1 or 2 liner that says by signing this they agree to the details below and will pay the invoice immediately. Oh, goodness me. That's right and wrong. Copy that. And we're going to come through here, paste that part in there. And we're going to come through to signatures. And we're going to add a signature in here. And it's going to be from our contact. And we're going to place that part in there. So hit the save button. And then we're going to hit the publish button. Get generic link. I don't need that yet. Now, main contract. Okay, so save. Back out of here. Now, the only thing that might just trip me up in this demo is that I haven't enabled email, but that's okay. So what we're going to come back is we're going to come to automations. We're going to come back to your onboarding form. And once that loads, we're going to come to the plus button. And we are going to go with send documents. Send documents. Here we go. Send the documents. And send the documents from me. And the template is going to be that. Send direct by email. Save action. Right. So, all in all, this workflow here is going to enable us to, when someone fills out a form, they're going to give themselves a tag. They're going to create an opportunity. We're going to get an internal notification. It's then going to send the document out. And then hopefully we'll go see if this works. I'm just worried because I haven't set up an email service in here, but it should land in my spam box at the very least. So let's hit the back button. Your only other one that you can now build out is the one for if they filled out the form. Sorry, I mean as in not the form completed once the invoice is paid. However, I do think you should just probably also check that manually. But let's just go test this one out. I think it's now a good time to at least test out our steps. And so I'm just a bit concerned about the email, but that's right. Let's make it work at the very least. So we're going to come to sites. And we are quickly, I'm going to go fill out all of this. I'll pause and like magic, it's going to be filled in. Okay, magically filled all this out with my details in. And so what we're going to look for is we're going to hit the submit button. And you can again build out a second page for this, but we don't want to wow the persons anyway. Please check your email for it. Now, that should be my Outlook email. So let me go find Outlook. Now remember, we want a couple of emails. I want the form emailed, and then I also want an automation. I actually don't know if I've done the automation for this, but so email number 1 again. Actually, it all works straight out the box. Not too shabby at this. So remember how I said we do the form notifications? This is the notification you get from the form part. So it's got all the details in. So you have a copy to build this out. And obviously you can go into forms. I'll show you soon where to get it. And you can get all these things. I'll just fill in some basics. Okay. So you can now realize that, hey, this person has filled these parts in. He's ready to go. You can start building out your voice AI assistant with this. And the second email I got was just a normal notification one. Comes through and like this, hey, I'll just have some onboarding form. The contract has been emailed out to him. Now, let me go check my Gmail. And I do have a contract form. So here we go. So, oops. My goodness. So here we go. So onboarding demo form. This is the account that I have. Your main contract has been received. Hey, alters your onboarding demo. Send you a contract. Click here below to view the document. So we're going to view our document, and here's the contract out in here. Very like how we filled it out. And here I'm going to go through the bottom, start filling out the form if you want to. It's going to come down the bottom. It's going to show that this is how much we have to pay for it. So we're going to click here to sign it. It puts in a nice signature in here already. Hit the submit button. And we're going to finish and complete payment. And redirecting you to the payment process. So just before I hit all of this, let's just click a view on that. We'll come through in here. Hopefully it doesn't sign all that out. Now, when I go to pipelines, opportunities, we should see me sitting in here. So now I got another email notification. I'm in here, $1,000 worth of it. And I also got another email in here from my personal account. I said, hey, someone signed a document that's completed. So this is where you should be onto it. Are they going to pay this invoice? Really annoying. So the next part we're going to do is we're going to come to automations, and we're quickly going to create a new one, start from scratch. And this is going to be invoice paid. And I'm going to go in here and we'll say invoice. Invoice status is, you can add those, but we're just going to hit the pay button. We're going to say tag. We're going to add the tag. Come on. Invoice paid. Add the tag. We're going to opportunity it. I'm going to select a pipeline. Sorry, I hope you can see it behind my head. We're going to say filled out. It's going to be a name. It's going to be from form, and our value is still going to be $1,000, and it's still going to say open on this one, and we're going to add a notification. Email, and I'm going to say contact first name, invoice paid. This is to notify you that contact first name has paid the invoice. I actually don't know if we have any invoice number. And we're gonna send it to all users, hit that save, make sure that's on, publish that one. Now, without you seeing my credit card, I'm quickly gonna pay this. $1 once off. Just doing this on the side quickly. Oh, 03. Paid it. Oh, it's taking very long for a second. Come on. Ah, and there we go. Paid. Sweet, right? If you didn't know if that's gonna go through. And you can download your invoice, you can download all of that. It's the download there, it's the download there. I'm getting all my notifications on the side. When I come through in here, I get my first notification saying invoice have been paid, and then I get my second notification, the one I said invoice 001 has been paid. How awesome, right? So allow multiple downloads. Sorry, browser. And you as the client get your contract, and you get your invoice. And you should get an email about it too. Let me quickly go see. Gmail. But right, how cool, how professional. I think this is awesome. And there we go. I got one in here as well. Big giant logo. Thank you for your purchase. Here's your contact. So cool. Even I'm a little bit impressed with this. I think it's almost better than the one I've actually built out in Lovable. Especially with these parts. This is quite cool. So hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will give you the snapshot from here to download. This is a blank account that I will save so you can get the contract to look at. You will have to edit it because the contract is PDF. I'll have the snapshots in here that will have all of it. We'll have the chatbot, or we'll have the all of it's for you to edit and make your own. Please do make it your own. Please spend some time. Like I said, the more you spend with the onboarding form, the easier it's going to get for you. So I really hope you like this. I really hope you enjoyed it. Really hope it makes sense. Make sure you like, you follow, you subscribe. Make sure if you come to anywhere else that is not from within the classroom and you're coming off YouTube, just come and join up. There's a free community as well. But man, what you get unlimited free GoHighLevel accounts. Bargain, right? And all the other cool stuff like this exactly. So hope it all makes sense and hope to see you soon. Talk to you all later.